It is, according to my watch, 12:03. And I'd like to announce the start of the Waterways meeting, and I've been told I must say out loud that these meetings by Zoom are all recorded, and everyone should be aware that they are being recorded during this meeting time. So thank you for that. I would like to, at this time, take a roll call of member attendance right now. So let's see who's here. How about Dana?
Here.
Thank you. Andrea?
Here.
Kevin?
Yeah.
And Roger's here. TJ said he would come. Patty, is that enough for a quorum? That's a great question.
Yes, we have enough for a quorum.
Okay. Well, let's do the agreed. Let's keep going. Number 2 is the 3/13/2024 meeting minutes. Has everybody had a chance to read the meetings? And then I would vote a roll call vote for approval. And thank you, Dana, for all your help with that. Could I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes of 13 back in March? Anyone?
I make a motion.
Okay, thank you for the motion. And may I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Andrea. Second. Good. So, oops, who's that? Hello.
It's TJ. I'm having trouble with getting into the meeting for some reason.
Well, TJ, that's okay. We won the bet. We won the bet on that. So, well, thank you, TJ, for joining. We appreciate it. We're just going through. It's very straightforward. The minutes of the last meeting. So we're just taking a vote. We're just taking a vote now to approve those, and I'll do a roll call. Dana, the minutes, do you approve? Yes?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Andrea, do you approve minutes? Yes? Andrea?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Kevin, do you approve the minutes? Kevin?
I'll have to abstain. I abstain. I wasn't at the last meeting.
Okay, very good. That's fine.
Yes.
And then TJ was there.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Roger, can I ask you a question? Am I on the phone or am I on Zoom? What was it showing on your end?
It shows a really nice picture. It shows a really nice picture of a phone.
For the whole world.
And we hear you fine. And if you can hear us, we know what you look like, TJ. So that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna stay with how I got in then. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's good. Don't mess with success, TJ. This is great.
I agree. Okay, thanks, Roger.
Well, thank you, TJ. And Steve, I'd like you to take over in the reviewing number 3, the status of the open projects going forward.
I can do that.
Thank you, Steve.
First project on my list is the Dias Landing Marina Town Pier Extension, dinghy and small boat berthing. Bid process is underway. Bids, I think they're due to close on Friday, the 26th of April. There's been one request for a continuance of a week. I'm not sure if that's going to be granted or not. That's up to Town Hall. Answering the FOF is handling the bids. We had a meeting last week for question and answer with prospective bidders. Good numbers showed up. So that speaks well for the competitiveness of the project. The overall limiting factor seems to be the width of the bridge opening. And with a charted width of 31 feet vertical clearance, horizontal clearance, some of the barges just can't squeeze through that. So we'll see what we get when we get the bids open, but there was quite a good turnout and quite a bit of interest. The dredge feasibility is almost done. We're about 99% done with just written report expected by the end of May, certainly within a month to go of the June 30th deadline. So we had an exchange of emails yesterday between Chris Vitale, Patrick, and myself, and we're all relatively confident that we will meet that deadline. The next is the economic valuation. There's been a draft proposed. There's been some concern expressed back to FXM, and they have announced that they will take another look at some of the concerns raised and provide some more detail and information that was missing from the report draft that was submitted within the last 2 weeks. The Uponiganset feasibility and the Rogers Street feasibility are still out of my hands. There's been no discussion, and I have no information regarding what was applied for, what the project was to entail, who might be awarded, what amount, from which matching source. So those two balls are still spinning, but they're spinning at Town Hall.
Well, Steve, this is Kevin raised an earlier question with me, and I agree. We really would like to know, wouldn't we, what's going on under cooperation, collaboration, and clarity here. Are you not getting told anything? Do you want me or Kevin or both of us or all of us to go and ask Chris Vitale and Sean McGinnis and Sean McDonald for answers on these questions?
Sure. I mean, I think an email, probably the easiest and quickest, sent
Okay.
to all three that you name, just for an update on those two projects with precise sources of funding. And I don't know what they call it. It's not a punch list anymore, but the goals, I guess, or the project goals for each grant project.
Yeah.
We're all in the same on the same page.
All right. Well, I'll take that as an action because I really would like to know it. Yes, Kevin, go right ahead.
If I could add a little bit of clarity, the Uponiganset Landing grant, that was awarded, actually. The town received an award letter on that project on August 23rd. So that should be something of some action already. We're not waiting on any news from SCC. That award letter was sent on August 23rd.
Both
As
of them
what-
were
Both of them.
both were applied for at the same time,
Right.
and they were apparently awarded at the same
were
time.
awarded. That's true. That's true.
So
So
They're
we
both-
have the SEC money. The question becomes, what is an update? Where is the copay coming from? What is the status? What is really going on? We'd like some clarity.
Yeah, I think
Right.
specifically, the copay has been purported to come from ARPA funds, and it would be nice to know if those funds have been awarded to the town and have they been specifically allocated to the Rogers Street project. And if they have been, then what is the status of awarding the project to a contractor to move forward? And if they haven't been awarded, what's the plan B for a copay going to be should they not be awarded? I think we need to be very specific in that to get some sunshine on the information.
I think the agenda reminded me that at the community preservation meeting where I presented the dinghy rack project, Chris Vitale presented the Uponiganset feasibility for CPC funds at the June town meeting, June 2024, for the match for Uponiganset. But there was no mention of the Rogers Street project with CPC funding at that meeting.
You're absolutely right, Steve. I remember that.
So if we have the match already, then
No.
that project should be moving forward.
We don't have the match
What is
until
the specific status of that?
we won't have the match from CPC until town meeting in June of 2024. So that's
Okay,
coming up.
that's
But they
right.
did-
Thank you.
They did vote for it
They
in its
endorsed it.
entirety. Yeah, they endorsed it.
But town meeting has to approve it.
Understood. So really upon Agansett Peninsula feasibility, we got the ESCC grant and we have approval from CPC. It just has to go to town meeting for a final approval, and that will be squared away. The one we're really interested in is Roger Street, right, Kevin? That seems to be in limbo right now.
$250,000 award. It would seem to me that we ought to make sure that that's being handled.
Yeah. Okay. Again, as I said, I'll take that as an action. You and I'll make sure Kevin is copied and everyone, Sean, Chris, and Sean, the new chair, Sean McDonald, so we can get some clarity on Roger Street. So we're going forward.
And the other question would be: is the dinghy rack application grant, which we're working on, going to be submitted by June 1st? Are they promising to do that once we help complete that?
Well, Kevin, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you on that, buddy.
Okay,
I need the numbers section filled out. And yes, as soon as we do that, I'll send it to Chris. We'll give us a week or so, and then he'll submit it. But he's waiting for us to finish that pretty much up.
You should have that by the end of the week. Thanks.
And we do have the match. We do already have the match going to town meeting.
Right.
Same time, June.
Right. So it's just, and we can say that right in, I think I said that in the grant already, application, that we do have funds supporting it, and we just need this write-up, and we'll get that done. If I can get the numbers section from you, Kevin, that'd be fantastic. And I think it's only April, so I mean, we do have some time to get that to Chris. I know he's a busy boy, but if we hand it to him on a silver platter, it should be fine. Should be fine. All right. Any other discussion on that?
No, I think we covered number 4 with that as well.
Yeah, dinghy rack. Yeah. We'll get that covered, and we will. Kevin and I will continue to do it. Happy, you'll final review, Steve, and we will get that into Chris Vitality. So number 5, Steve, Waterways, how are we doing? Money.
Well, I wanted
Can I ask a question?
Oh,
about
sure,
the
Andrea, I'm
dinghy?
sorry. Yeah.
Do you need a vote of the Waterways Commission to support that grant? Because the grant is coming in before the next meeting.
Wouldn't hurt.
Which
You're gonna
grant?
write,
I'm
you
sorry.
have to write a support letter, right? So I make a motion that we that we submit an SEC grant for the dinghy kayak replacement that we've been speaking of in past meetings, based on Kevin and Roger's review.
Okay.
A second.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you for that, and thank you for that motion. I guess since it's a motion and seconded, I'll take a roll call vote on that. Dana in favor?
Yes.
Andrea in favor?
Yes.
Kevin in favor?
Yes.
PJ in favor?
Yes.
Okay, and Roger's in favor. I wish Andy had joined, but Andy, we'll tell him later about that. Great. Okay. Well, that is good. And yeah, you're absolutely right, Andrea. A Waterways letter of recommendation probably wouldn't be wrong to do. I'll draft that and get that ready for Chris to submit with that. They always like that letter of support. Okay, well, very good.
You can say things in the letter that point out like the key message you want SEC to know. You know, why is it you're applying for this? It might get lost in the details of the application.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the application is many multi-pages, and you really sometimes the lead gets buried. Yeah. Okay, we'll do. Yes, Kevin.
I think it would be noteworthy in that letter to let them know that we are replacing existing racks.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right, that it's an upgrade.
Yeah, existing well-used racks, and as Steve said, they're we need more capacity, and we're a victim of our own success. People do like to go there and stow their gear and dinghies and paddle boards and kayaks, and I think it's a good thing. And it does trickle down to the whole town, so it is an economic engine. So I will do that. Steve, number 5, Waterways Management, unless there's any other discussion, the fund, how are you doing?
We received an update at the end of March and much better picture than the end of December. These are quarterly.
Yeah,
And the end of December, we were showing a negative balance in the retained earnings of minus 44,000. And at the end of March, we're showing almost 110,000. The big change is the user charges have come in through the billing process. This isn't the final picture by any stretch because the revenue from late March through April into early May will significantly increase that, or at least another, we expect 50 or 60,000 to come in as late registration and catch up with where we should be at this point in the revenue cycle. But you can see how the revenue increases greatly at the beginning of the calendar year, which is the start of the third quarter, the fiscal year, and the expenses go down a bit because we're not spending as much on salaries, the seasonal assistants, the operating budget money is negligible. We're still paying for fuel to run the boat, but not as often, fuel for the truck, and all the other utility and service bills that we get. But this is also coming into the last year that we will be servicing debt on 12 Rogers Street. That bond goes away at the end of I believe, the next fiscal year. So
excellent, Steve.
Yep.
You bought a house. Yay.
yeah, we'll have a bond burning party if everybody's.
That's always fun. Steve, I have a question, Steve. Did anything ever get done for the online bill paying portal? I know I used it and we had a problem with it and I reported that. And I know another gentleman had a problem with it and reported it. Did anything, as far as you know, Steve, get rectified?
There have been no changes on the town hall end of that. The bill paying portal is entirely a town hall function.
I know.
And they have not addressed it. Now, we've got more than a couple of complaints. And now as we get to the end of registration, we painstakingly identify those who have not renewed their moorings. And I believe we had 70. And of that 70, we've probably heard from a dozen who said they had paid and they have proof of payment, but that never get transmitted from town hall to us. So where the money went is a mystery that we'll be resolving in the next month. But it happens every year. The frustration of the boaters is justified and it's palpable.
Yeah.
And on our end, it's even worse. But after doing it for so many years, it just gets worse every year.
Well,
So,
the whole idea of the portal was to make it smoother, easier, and better. And
absolutely.
we pay our taxes online, and that's no problem. And actually, I just bought a little town sticker for the beach, no problem. So clearly, it was wrong. I mean, I could see when I sent in our letter, Margot did. They didn't account for the correct mooring and all that stuff. So I could see a lot of people dropping off. What do you want me to go in and see? I like Gary. I think he's a good guy, but I know it's an outside source. He said it was going to be outside things, but we didn't get any. When Dr. Margot called in, she's like, she didn't get a satisfactory answer going, I will fix it by next Tuesday.
I haven't received even close to an answer. The current town administrator assured me that he would have somebody in his office work on this for next year, and there would be an online different system is all I was told. I don't know if it would incorporate what we've got or how that would work, but I don't know that he'll be here to
well, you
fulfill
do know. You do know he will not be here, so that
Right.
that answers
Well,
that.
and
He
I don't know
assured-
that I don't know that
He
the
had 3
person
more
left
years.
behind will be here to follow through with that, but I'm not going anywhere, hopefully, and I'm willing to work with whoever they want
Yeah.
to rectify that.
Do we have the ability to do it both ways? What is it? Are we jammed into that portal? I can't remember because Don takes care of that part of it.
No, we can only use the postal service, in-person delivery, or online, but only part of it can be paid online. Dinghy racks that are reserved cannot, the moorings cannot, but boats and waiting lists can be paid online. The problem comes in that the town hall doesn't always notify the harbor master that somebody has paid for something, or somebody has paid for something online and it's attributed to another department, schools,
Oh,
and then we
Andy,
backtrack. So it's a
all right.
nightmare. And considering that we're not even on the same G drive as the town, you know, we're the outsiders. So, but we have done everything we can with our database to make the bridge, to make the whatever work. But we can't change the town side.
Right.
So
Yes, Kevin, go ahead.
Steve, I have a question. Is this something that if Waterways decided to take out of our budget, that we could hire somebody or design some more software to make sure that this works properly from
not
all?
without, not, it would be like me. It would be like me trying to take care of your online accounts. You're not going to let me in to do what you do. The town has to have somebody on the inside that knows all their passcodes that will allow what we do to connect with them. So
we couldn't write an independent program that the town would let in to
Well, Kevin,
review.
yeah, Gary told me they had an outside contractor write this particular script, and it was just wrong. I mean, nobody came to us and say, "Hey, should we ask these questions?" They asked all the wrong questions. And the first one was, as Steve said, he supplies a beautiful PDF with all the data of the person, the mooring, the boat, everything, and then gives it a unique identifier. And Town Hall has that. All they have to do is get that unique identifier and it should populate the whole page. I mean, people have been doing that for a while. That's not hard. So they're using an outside agency already and paying them, Kevin. So I would like to, I'll write Gary a letter and just sort of poke him. If it's going to be too late already for this year, that's fine. But I think we should be involved in helping them create, this outside agency create the correct portal to do this in an online manner and save everybody, and then make sure it does circle back so that the harbor master and our group does know what's going on. Right now, it's sort of an open-ended loop, and the questions they asked were just plain wrong.
I mean, it
and
seems that
I don't
becomes a
think this.
problem
I don't
every
think
year
this
each
method is
time.
saving anybody any time. Honestly, why don't we just get rid of using it and tell everybody to just send a check in?
That works much better because we have our
You know,
own people
honestly, it's just
that.
like, you know what, my feeling on technology is when it works, it works. When it doesn't work, it doesn't work in a horrible way.
But
Says
we're
the guy,
caught right now, TJ,
says the guy on
between
the cell
people
phone. Yeah.
some people have no technology and they're happy with that. Other people have no checkbooks and they're happy with that. So we're at a point in history where we've really got to accommodate both. And that's not my preference, but that's the reality of the world.
Yeah.
so it seems that Parks and Recs had great success going to the beach stickers online. I mean, the numbers are up in the 90% range. Why
Yeah.
we're down where we are is really not.
I think going back to the checks is going to be tough. Yes, Andrea, you had a question.
I really don't think there's an option to create a new system. I really think we have to work with the existing accounting system. We just need to get the information they have back to us in real time.
Yeah.
And Roger, if you're willing to put the time in to make that the existing system work for us, I don't think we have any other choice because that's what the town accountants use, and we've got to play by their rules.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, you're right, Andrea, 100%. I do know Gary and I like Gary. I will take it as an action and just follow up with it because we actually had a dialogue back and forth, several emails, and he was very responsive.
Roger, the only problem you're going to run into as the shifting sands, Gary's on the way out of the collector's office.
Oh
and
no.
we have a new collector who I've been told will be starting soon. So, yeah, it's who's on first, what's on
Okay.
second.
So I should quickly get him while he's still working for us? Is that what you're saying?
Well, he'll still be working, but he'll be only as treasurer, and I'll be working with a new collector who is the person that we work with to
But let
collect.
me understand, but Gary is always going to be the top guy in that department, correct?
Well, I'm not sure. He's
Okay.
going to become Greg Barnes solely,
Okay.
and somebody is moving over from the police department, I've been told, who is going to become Gary. So when it
Oh.
comes to, you've got accountant, you've got treasurer, and you've got collector. And obviously we're working with the collector on this issue, not the
Right.
treasurer, not the accountant. But
But it's all money. It's all money, money, money. Let's try
well,
to work with them. Let me reach out and just in a friendly way to start with anyway. And I will do that and just see where it leads.
as
But
we call it, it's all silly pieces of paper.
well, except yeah, it becomes an
Yeah.
aggravation for you. And I'm trying to make less aggravation for you, Steve, if possible.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, it becomes an aggravation for the people who are using the system
Yeah,
too.
that's who
Yeah.
I'm worried
They're the
about.
ones I'm concerned with also. It's our end users. If we
Right.
can't provide an
Absolutely.
experience, it's not 100%, then we shouldn't be doing it
Yep.
Right.
until we can.
Yeah, it's my opinion. They implemented a page online that was incorrect and just put it out there and didn't have any insight into what we do, where we go, where all this stuff is going, TJ. And it was a faux pas on their town hall's part, not our part. Anyway, let me start with a friendly email quickly before Gary leaves. Oh, God. Oh my God, I can't keep up. It's like a revolving door over there. Speaking of revolving doors, number 7, Steve, what do you know today?
Well, I've talked to Chris Vitale to see if there's any insight on what to expect. It's been a full week today since the news bomb dropped, and he's told me that he knows nothing, and the select board will make their announcements when they have made their decisions as to who leads going forward, what route the town is going to take. Anyway, so we don't have anything more to report other than I think we have another month with Mr. McGinnis, maybe a month and 10 days, something like that. But he starts his new job in June and is officially off the books in July from the reports I've seen.
But he's going on vacation.
Yes, he'll be on vacation for June and July, officially done in July, on July 15th, starting work at the new place in June. So I believe I have one more meeting, one-on-one meeting in May, if he continues those. And I expect that he would. So maybe I'll get some more information at that time.
Okay.
May the 14th.
Well, interesting, interesting, interesting.
But there has been very little information coming out of town hall. So we're all just waiting.
Well, I think everybody was a little bit stunned. One month ago, they announced that they have this wonderful 3-year contract with this wonderful guy. And then boom, he goes, I'm leaving. See you, bye, and going to Maryland. Wow. It seems a bit abrupt anyway.
That we received the email on the 16th. I believe the select board received theirs on Patriots Day. And there was no indication prior to that. So took many by surprise.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Well, thank you for that, Steve.
Well,
I have a question for Andy. Thank you for joining, Andy. I appreciate you're busy, busy, busy.
Sorry, I was late.
No,
Sorry, I was late.
no, it's important. I wonder if you could, whatever you can say, how are you doing on your projects down there at CPC, and how can we work cooperatively together? I'm thinking I'm going to write this email about Roger Street, and I think that directly impacts you, Andy.
Sorry, you froze up there for a minute.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So we're kind of stuck in limbo with our Seaport Economic Council grant. There's been some changeover in the city of New Bedford, so we're still kind of stuck in their paperwork trail, unfortunately. So yeah, so we've gone through and had through their procurement process, went out to bid and found the group that's going to do our work. It's just now still waiting to be completely finalized. So we're anxiously ready to go once we can get through that process.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think, as when I went in and met with the town too, the more that we can tag team and share there's going to be so many synergies within the project. I mean, the more we can keep things aligned, I think that'd be great. And I think we'll get more out of it that way.
I do too. That's what I was going to allude to in the Roger Street email, saying, we have many people that are very interested in making this a better area and would like to know the details of what's going on there. Okay. Well, thank you, Andy. Good luck. I hope you get that resolved.
Me too. I was hoping the project would have been done last May, but now we're still waiting.
Okay. Well, does anybody else have any other topics that we didn't get to cover today on this printed list? Yes, Andrea. Oh.
There, I'm not unmuted. Would you like to speak to the 604B grant that we're working with Chris Vitale on? I know the grant submission deadline is May 6th, so Waterways may not meet before it gets submitted.
Yeah, let's talk about that, Andrea. Could you give us a background of what's going on there?
Oh, I was hoping you would, but okay. So and after the past few months of kind of missing, not that, let me start from the beginning. DEP put out a set of proposed regulations that identified nitrogen sensitive areas. And in an early draft, Dartmouth was included in the list of towns that would be affected by these regs. And the regulations were promulgated under the authority of Title V. So it's very much it's very much those communities who have excess nitrogen in your water bodies need to fix it by improving your septic systems. We, the town of Dartmouth, missed that through great success in the public comment period, but it made clear to the select board, to a lot of people that we were on the radar for DEP of having water bodies that were impaired with both nitrogen and bacteria, and that since these regs are 20 years after the start of improving water quality on Cape Cod, we better get started on our planning. So that's the background. Basically, what I and another smart guy in town, Steve Bliven, went to Chris Vitale and wrote up a phase 1 study of just articulating the problem of water quality on a town-wide basis, and what information we know, what information we don't know, and trying to fill the gaps. And then in order to solve a water quality problem. Chris has since brought in an engineering firm that DPW works with. And by the end of the week, I've been told, fingers crossed, there will be a draft of a multi-phase project that goes beyond the articulation of the townwide problem into sampling needs, identification of priority pollution sites, and possibly even conceptual design of some pollution remediation. Another piece of this, you should all know, when it comes to implementation, the wastewater treatment plant and septic is always going to be part of it. And so we're actually, this is a grant and a project that goes beyond any one single board, but Waterways itself is the receiving waters of water that's impaired. And one of the key goals of the Paden Harbor Plan was to improve the water quality in the harbor so the eelgrass could come back. And that will improve our shellfishing, that'll improve our bathing experience, it always improves our boating experience. So it's a beginning of water quality planning for the town. And we're trying to put something together fast. In my world, it's going to be the first phase of the project is going to articulate what the other phases need to do. And so we'll probably have good numbers in terms of cost for the first phase, but kind of soft numbers going forward. So I'm hoping it's something that the Waterways Committee can conceptually approve. Knowing that myself and Roger, you're going to be right there with me, yep. Reviewing, and Patty are going to be reviewing the draft grant, and Steve Bliven before it gets submitted to try to beef it up and make it better.
Yeah, well, I think at a high level, we could say right now, I mean, I'd entertain a motion to just say, as a group, we're all in favor of better water quality for our harbors and estuaries and tributaries in the town of Dartmouth. And I, for one, think it's a great idea. And I might add, thank you, Andrea, but I've been talking to Rob Almy, and the DPW is very interested in cooperation and collaboration with Waterways, so that, as she said, it's all the water flowing down from the higher levels into our lower levels of the harbor, and we're the recipients of all that stuff, and we want to make it better. So I'd entertain a motion that we all at least verbally say that we're in favor of this grant, the 604B, to ultimately improve water quality in our Dartmouth waters.
I don't know if I'm ready to vote on something that's not before me.
Okay. Okay.
I'd like to see it first, you know.
Okay. All right. Well, I was thinking more high level, TJ. Just say, are you in favor of this or not? I mean, going for the grant, but I understand you would like to see it. I understand completely.
Is it possible for the Waterways
duty.
Committee to have an email vote, or do you have to be in session?
Open meeting law requires we be in open session for any votes.
Right.
So we're not going to get it. The grant has to be submitted May 6th, and we're not going to have anything before Friday. So we'll only have a week to review it.
Andrew,
we'll only have a week to review a draft that needs to be improved.
How much is the grant, and where's the money going? Andrea, excuse me. How much is the grant, and where would the money be going?
The first phase of the project could have been $60,000-$70,000. I don't know about the multi-phases. There'll be a $20,000, that 20% or 20 or 25% match. And Chris was comfortable saying that he had a funding source for that. He did not say that funding source was the Waterways Enterprise Fund.
Okay,
but he did say there would, but he did say he would find a funding source for it.
Okay, Andrew, this won't come out of our budget then.
Right.
It has not, that has not been stated in any session I've been in.
That could be a stipulation of any vote.
Speaking with Rob Almy, I do believe this is a DPW thing. Ty and Bond are the engineer they're using. They're already paying them to do the water quality analysis at the outfalls, and this is basically a continuation of that. So they would be doing the work, and the money would, to answer your question, Kevin, Ty and Bond would be the engineering firm going out and collecting all this data, this water quality data upstream, as it were, in our town. Yes, Kev.
I mean, I think everybody wants good water quality. I mean, I just don't
Yeah,
know how
exactly.
Waterways is a lot, in my impression, is a lot more for the boaters and whatnot. And I guess, of course, I would generally support the idea, but you know,
Yeah.
if it's only going to take a letter or whatever. But I kind of agree with TJ. It's a little bit out of our purview, but certainly something I'd support.
Yeah, me too. But I'm with you, TJ. I agree completely. These days, I'd like to see what comes out of town hall before I vote on anything. Let's just say we've been surprised before.
Not once. Not just once. Agree. But I mean, again, anybody supports it, making the harbor better. It's
Yeah,
just,
no.
you know,
It's a good thing. But I'm with you. I'm slowly becoming a lawyer, TJ, in my old age, and I I hear
There's
you
a
loud
cure
and
for that, Roger.
There's still time. There's still
There's a
time.
cure.
There's still time. Forget this engineering stuff. Oh my God. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Andrea. I think that we're all generally in favor of it. I think we would like to wait and see what actually comes out of town hall. But I think you could honestly say we're very much in favor of what good water quality for the harbor. And as always, thank you for your help. I think it's to be a good thing. And I do appreciate DPW. Just so everybody knows, I have a meeting with them this Thursday morning, as does Andrea, for a DPW board meeting, and we're going to talk about water quality. So we'll get some more information at that time. I love this collaboration. It does seem to be working better and better. Yes,
Can I
Andrea?
ask that we schedule a tentative meeting during either Wednesday, May 1st through Friday the 3rd for whatever information we have on the grant?
Okay, do you think we'll have things by then on, say,
We have to. It's due on Monday, the 6th. And they don't work on the weekend.
Yeah, I know. How about tentatively Thursday then? We just have a schedule the next meeting, a Zoom at noon, with one agenda item on that. How's that sound, Andrea?
I'm free.
Okay, how's everybody else? So May 2nd, that's a Thursday at noon for a quick meeting by Zoom with one agenda item talking about the 604B grant, where we will have information in front of us. Yes, Kevin.
I'd like to add to the agenda just a quick update on these letters that are proposed to be written as motions. That would just take a quick minute to review what letters were sent and if we got any response. Because I think if we're going to have meetings, we should be talking about these grants, keep them all in the pipeline and all under review rather than once a month or once or twice if the opportunity arises. And a special meeting would be an opportunity to review that. So I don't think it would add a lot of time to the meeting.
Okay, no, that's fine. So really basically 2 agenda items. That's great. Keep it. I like to keep them focused and laser point on. That's good. That's good. So that answers that. So May 2nd, noon with that. Steve, can we handle that?
Yeah, I've got 2 weeks to post that. Well, a week and 2 days.
So that's enough, right? That's enough time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm free also.
All right. Well, thank you. And your phone is working great, TJ. So there you go. All right. Is there any other public comment? There's any public? There's no public there. No public. Oh, well. They miss all the fun.
Don't take it personally, Roger.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I am fine. So we've scheduled the next meeting and we're going to do all that. I would take a motion to adjourn then, unless there's anything else.
So moved.
I'll second that. So we're out of here. Thank you all very, very much. And as always, until next time, peace.
See you later.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Roger.
Bye-bye.